Okay, so this is USDSGD, a trade that I took. I took two of these trades actually. This one here was on Friday. Let me bring this up so I can see this better. So this one here was on Friday, and this was just this was actually my personal account. So I just wanted to show this for educational purposes. Let me bring this back. So this was definitely a great trade. The Friday trade just didn't work out because of the spreads. It took me out automatically because of the spreads, but I really believed in this trade. So I usually don't take trades on Sundays, but I went ahead and I took it. I went and re-entered here on Sunday. And you can see like during this time, I mean, you'll see that price just kind of went outside of usual market hours. So that's why I had jumped in as soon as the markets opened back up on Sunday. It just shows you like how price move. But just for context, just bringing it back. So if we were to look like higher time frames, once again, my strategy is just see where is price going. Okay, so price is technically going bearish right now on the higher time frames, like weekly and daily. You can just see these trends. You can see this trend of going down, right? You can see on the weekly this trend of going down. It broke that structure going down, right? That is my context. And then if I go to a even higher time frame, you can see that price is still going down. Now, why did I take a bullish? Why did I take a bullish? Why did I take a bullish trade? Well, okay, higher time frames are going down, but technically, where are we at, right? So once we have our trend, where are we going? Now we have to know where are we at. So where are we going? Where are we at? Right now, we can see that this was our last bearish range that we're in from here to here. Let me just highlight this here. So from here, from this wick down to that wick was our last bearish range. We can see we broke that range right here, right? Broke that range right here, creating our new bullish range. So we're technically in a lower time frame bullish range, and I start looking at trades from 4 hours down, more like an intraday day trade. I want to get in and I want to get out. My typical trade, I want to hold my trade from the same day to up to 2 days, 3 days max is usually how I like to trade. But if I can do it the same day, then that's awesome. If I can do it within the same hour, that's even better. So you see we have there's a bullish time frame. You can see we had our 4-hour first low right here. It came down and then pulled right back up, and then we took liquidity. That's essentially like what I like to see is we have this 4-hour shift of structure. Okay, we have a first low, then we have a pullback. So my next question is, if we are high, if we know where we're going, then we know where we're at. So once we know where we're going, we know where we're at, and then we are essentially looking for where are we going within where we're at. Okay, so I'm gonna say that again. Where are we going? Where we're at. So where we're going, where we're at. Where are we going? Where we're at. Don't get confused, right? So we broke this structure here. So where we can essentially go from here is we can bounce up from this area. We can target this area, but we can see to our left where we're going, where we're at. And we see that we have an untapped supply zone right up here, right? This is untapped. We still have this liquidity hanging right here. So we can essentially do, since we're in a higher time frame going bearish, is we can essentially attack that liquidity, tap into that supply, and then continue down. Okay, you get me? Don't lose me. All right, so that's what I was looking at in terms of the context. So now, let me bring you down to a lower time frame. If you can see, our 1 hour matches our 4 hour. I like to jump from 4 hour to the 1 hour. Our 1 hour matches the 4 hour. So you can see the context looks pretty similar on the 1 hour. So the 1 hour first low, I would say is the same thing as the 4 hour first low, is the same thing as the 1 hour first low. So we had a first low here, and then we pulled up. Okay, so that was our liquidity here. You can see that we took our liquidity, and I didn't get to bounce in at that time. I didn't get in at that time. That probably would have been even a better time, right? because this would have been our demand zone, but I didn't get in. I didn't get in at that time. Okay, no worries. Let me take this off so I don't confuse you with these here. Yeah. So I could have got in at this 4-hour demand zone. As you can see, that's the 4-hour demand zone, which is that last bearish candle. But I got in at a little bit later. And this can be refined down too. Like we can refine this as the actual demand zone right here. But for learning purposes, we just kept it there because we like the context. I like that context. And on a higher time frame, it just makes sense. But if price would have kept going down, I would have just essentially waited till it came down here. And then I would take the trade because it can definitely do that. Price can definitely do that. All right. So as long as my 4-hour and my 1-hour is lined up, then I will jump down to a lower time frame and make sure that the lower time frame, essentially the 15-minute, is in alignment. So the 4-hour, the 1-hour, the 15, and the 5. Let me say that once again: the 4-hour, the 1-hour, the 15, the 5. 4-hour, 1-hour, 15, 5. Those are essentially the time frames that I find very important. And I want to make sure that those are lined up before I hop in a trade, just for confirmational purposes. So you see that this is lined up. We have this bullish frame that we're all lined up. Everything is adding up, right? This is all adding up, right? This is a dating situation. This person, this girl, she's lining up. Everything's lining up, right? If we had our first hour taken, this is even on a lower time frame, 15 taken. This will be our demand zone. That's why I lined this up here. We can kind of see that it's lined up here. Let me outline this here. So on the 15-minute, we're lined up, but you can see that we tap into it right here. So now that's been mitigated. Okay, so we don't have to highlight that. It's been mitigated. So now we can see that it's making a reaction from that zone. If we go to a smaller time frame, then we can see on the 15-minute, that's what happened. So as you can see, I took my first trade. Did I delete it? Okay, yeah. So I placed my first trade here. It was a little late, but it was Friday, and this is another reason why I don't take trades on Friday, because of spreads. Over the weekend, hold fees. It took me out, and I lost about $20. That's fine. That's a learning lesson. Okay, so what I'm looking for now is just a lower time frame setup on the 5-minute. Okay, so I have my shift to structure here because we were kind of doing some bearish stuff here, and then I have my shift to structure. Kind of had a first low right here. Looks like we took that first low right there, and I can look and I can see, is this a 007 zone? So I can use this as the bottom. I can use that at the top, and I can see that no, we don't respect that 007 zone. So what I'm looking for is something a little different. I'm looking for a better setup. So what I did is I waited. I had to shift the structure, and I'm just waiting here. Okay, and what I see here is right there. Boom! I see a first low formed, a pullback, and then we took that first low, and then I have this 5-minute demand zone that now I'm looking to get in on. So that's where I got in right there, and I actually got in this in a little bit too early on Friday. So I saw it take the first low, and I had my demand zone, and I just put my, as you can see, I just put my stop loss at this 4-hour demand zone. But once again, once that 4-hour has already been mitigated, there's really no reason to keep it, but I just kept it. Anyways, what happened was I got stopped out. Let me just put this to a 15-minute so I don't drain time here. As you can see, I got stopped out like around here on Friday. I got stopped out. And then price, actually it's like this, right? Oops. So yeah, I got stopped out. Okay, whatever, you guys get it. So I got stopped out around here, whatever, right? Last hour of Sunday. All right, and then I got back in here on this 5-hour, this 5-minute demand zone, because I really believed in this trade. And then what happened was It did a little wobble, whatever. And then when I went to sleep last night, it went whoop. It went straight through my, well, not straight, but you know, it's up here now, right? And where is it traveling to? Okay. Again, this high right here is traveling right back to this high, to this liquidity, straight to this supply zone. Now, price may just very well go straight through this supply zone, and it may attack something else. It might attack this, the end of this supply zone, as liquidity. But having context is very important. Having context is very important. And then once again, you know, having a strategy and psychology is very important too, to back the perspective in your strategy. Having that psychology is important. Okay, so we look at higher time frames, where we're going, okay, and then we jump down to the mid to lower time frames where we're at, okay, and then once we start going to even lower time frames, we look at where we go, our mid to lower time frames, where are we going, where we're at, okay, where we're going, where we're at, where are we going, where we're at. Type this out. And this is my strategy. Where are we going? Where we are, where are we at? Where are we going? Where we are at. Okay. So these are the 3 questions we'll be asking with our strategy. Where are we going, right? Where are we at? Where are we going? Where we are at. Simple as that. All right. So, and the rest of this is just, you know, just minor stuff. But these are the major important questions when taking a trade. It's part of my strategy. Okay. Peace. Have a prosperous week. This was actually almost a 4-hour trade, by the way. Really clean, really smooth. Really proud of that. All right. Have a prosperous week. Peace. Prosperable week. Prosperable week? I don't even know if that's a word. Anyways, indifference is the difference.